Hey everyone, welcome to my wrap up of Wimbledon Day 3 results as well as my predictions for Day 4. So, today, gotta be honest, not the most exciting matches compared to yesterday and compared to tomorrow's matches. Today was just kind of run of the mill with a few exceptions. So, why don't we quickly go over the results and then I will walk you through my predictions for tomorrow. Um, okay, so starting off, we have Karolina Pliskova, the third seed, really had no problems taking out Puerto Rico's Monica Puig. Verdasco over Edmund, this was an interesting one. Edmund was up 2 sets to love, and he actually was up 3-love in the third, and then he took a spill, and that just, I don't know if he was just sort of physically hampered or if it just kind of rattled him, but he wound up losing a third set tiebreak and then lost the next 2 sets. So unfortunate for Edmund, but good news for Fernando Verdasco. Djokovic had no problems over Kudla, Kontaveit over Watson. Feliciano Lopez, who was having this career resurgence, he did take a set off Kachanov, but couldn't pull it out in the end. Wozniacki. I'd have to say probably the most anticipated match of the day was 15-year-old American Corey, also known as Coco Gauff. After that amazing win over Venus Williams, she faced Rybarikova, who is known as a grass court specialist. And despite that, Gauff really had no trouble. She took her out easily in straight sets. I did see some of the match, and I was a little disappointed because Rybarikova just, despite the fact that she has a great serve, she didn't really seem to be making the most of her weapons, of her low slice and drop shots. And when she did go for them, they weren't effective. So congratulations to Coco. I mean, I heard that she and her family arrived assuming that they would leave after the qualifying rounds, and she got through. And because they hadn't anticipated that she'd be going this deep, they had to quickly leave their hotel and make other arrangements. So good problems to have, but clearly their expectations were exceeded for this tournament. Opelka had a great win over Wawrinka. I got to be honest here. I thought Opelka, at least when I saw him last year, I thought he was just sort of like a lesser version of John Isner, like just a tall guy with a big serve who really wasn't great at returning. But I'm really impressed with his game. He serves in volleys, he's great at net, and he's actually a pretty decent returner. So he's someone who might be like a serious threat in this tournament and in the future. Halep had a fairly tight match over Buzarnescu. Anderson lost a set to Tipsarevic, but ultimately didn't really have any problems. This was a sad one. Gasparian, she was up a set on Svitolina, but she had to retire. And Gasparian is a player who's dealt with a ton of injuries, so it's really sad to see her have to retire, most likely with an injury. Raonic threw in straights. Auger-Aliassime got a little bit of resistance from Moutet, who I think was a qualifier. Keys surprisingly fell to Herzog. Keys really should have a great. I would say her style should be well suited to grass, but clearly didn't work out for her today. Azarenka got through easily over Tomljanovic, and that actually sets up a really interesting match in the third round versus Simona Halep. Medvedev is through, Guido Pella's through, Danielle Collins rallied after being down a set. She's going to advance. Shea Sue, the very crafty player from Taiwan, she's through over Flipkins. Goffin. Kenin, I was actually a little surprised by this because she is really an up-and-comer who's had been doing very well on grass, but she lost to another young, exciting player, Daria Yastremska. And then we have doubles, which I'm not really going to focus on today anyway. So why don't we go to the matches scheduled for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 4th of July, which here in America is an important holiday. In England, I don't think they care too much about it. But let's go through our lineup for July 4th. So starting on center court, we have Kei Nishikori, who is the favorite, although Cam Norrie is He's a really exciting player. He's a lefty with just a great all-around game. I don't think Norrie will advance, but I think he'll definitely give Nishikori a little bit of trouble. Siniaka Vakonta, and then Kyrgios over Nadal. So if ever there were a popcorn match, this is it. I had sort of alluded to this in a previous post. Kyrgios beat Nadal here at Wimbledon 5 years ago, and the truth is Nadal is vulnerable on grass. It's definitely his weakest serve, probably Kyrgios' best serve. And these two have definitely, had some drama on and off the court. So we'll see if Kyrgios can get into Nadal's head. Kyrgios, when he's playing well and when he's focused, he can beat anyone. But when things go off for him, he just tends to go away and start just really mouthing off and doing dumb stuff and trying really ill-advised shots. So it's all about which Kyrgios shows up to play. But I definitely think Kyrgios could beat Nadal tomorrow. Kvitova, she's a two-time Wimbledon winner. I know she's just coming off of an injury, but I like her in the next round. Roger Federer has definitely lucked out because he's facing Clark, who was a wild card or a qualifier, much, much lower ranked. Really should not give Roger any trouble. Serena also has a much, much lower ranked competitor in Yuvan. She shouldn't have any problems. Barty, I picked her to win the whole thing, so I think she will have no trouble. Dan Evans, he is the underdog here, but he has a great game, and it's well suited to grass. And I'm calling an upset here. I think he will beat Basilashvili. Kerber should have no trouble. Berrettini, great player, has done great things on grass. I see him going forward. Stevens shouldn't have a problem. Isner shouldn't have a problem. Fucsovics-Fonini, that'll be a really interesting matchup. I don't know. This seems like a dead heat to me, so it could go either way. And then we have on the outer courts some lesser matches. Anisimova is, really an American phenom. I see her moving forward. Johnson de Minaur, that should be a good one. Both solid players. De Minaur, they call him the little demon because he really just runs down everything. So I don't know on this one. De Minaur is coming back from injury, so I'm going to give this one to Johnson. Johnson, let's not forget, does have titles on grass. Kiki Bertens versus Taylor Townsend. This should be an interesting match. Bertens does have a great game. She's fourth in the world, but Taylor Townsend is a tricky player. She's a lefty. She serves in volleys. She's kind of got an old school game, which is well suited to grass. So I'm going to give the edge to Bertens, but I think it'll be tough. And I'm going to skip over the doubles with one exception, something I thought was very interesting. We did just hear that Andy Murray is going to be partnering up with Serena to play mixed doubles, but I noticed that he is listed for his men's doubles all the way at the very bottom of this draw, and it says to be arranged, and I'm not sure what that means. It feels very sort of iffy. Murray and his partner Herbert. So I hope everything's okay with Murray. I hope he still plans to play. We shall see. All right, guys, that is it for my predictions and wrap-up for day 4. Please, if you like these videos, please subscribe. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to hear more about. Happy July 4th to those of you in the US or any Americans abroad. And I will catch up with you in the next video.